Let's start with a curious story, the Gibeonites. These people were actually neighbors, but they showed up dressed in old clothes with moldy bread, pretending they came from far away. They said, "We've come from a distant land. Make a peace treaty with us." In truth, they were locals, but here's the thing, they believed. They had faith that the God of Israel would defeat every nation in Canaan, so they sought mercy, and they got it. Now some people ask, was this all just ethnic cleansing? Actually no, this was God's judgment against cities filled with horrible, destructive religions. And yet, even then, anyone who turned to God, like the Gibeonites, was spared. From chapters 9 to 12, we see Joshua leading Israel through one victory after another. Southern cities, northern cities, 31 kings and 31 cities fell. It was a long and powerful campaign. It was God who gave them the victory. But it still took battle, sweat, and faith. But then, we hit chapter 13, it says, Joshua was old and tired. The fighting slowed down. But here's the twist. There were still many cities left unconquered. 7 tribes hadn't even claimed their land. They were undefeatable. The land was already promised to them, but they had to take a step of faith, city by city. And you know what? That's us too. We've been set free by Jesus, but there are still sins, still battles. As Christians, we can claim victory by God's grace because the Holy Spirit is given to us and He indwells us. And just like Israel, if we leave them unconquered, those sins can become thorns in our side. Then comes the division of the land. Each tribe was given their portion. Piece by piece, God's promises were laid out for them. And before he died, Joshua gave one last speech. He stood before all of Israel and said something powerful. "Choose this day whom you will serve, but as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." You'd expect the book to end with a celebration, right? But it ends with 3 burials. Joshua, Joseph's bones, finally laid to rest after 40 years, and Eleazar, the high priest's son. It's a quiet, sobering ending, a small hint that Israel's next chapter might not be as victorious. So what's the book of Joshua really about? It's about entering your promised life. Not just escaping slavery, but learning to walk in peace and victory. Are you in the promised land after you got saved? Or are you stuck in limbo? No longer in Egypt, but not fully walking in peace and rest. As a Christian, are you still struggling, still dissatisfied with your walk? A lot of Christians, 2 out of 2 million, are not like that. But the majority, they're still in limbo. But make sure, by God's grace, not only that you get out of bondage, but that you enter the place of peace and rest that passes all understanding. A peace that keeps growing as you conquer sins in your life. Today, the choice is still in front of us. Will we serve the gods of this world, or will we say like Joshua, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord"?